please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I got a bit of a theory. That the first people making a franchise that understood how what's the word I'm looking for? How disastrous woke is. How destructive and detrimental going woke is. Now, what is woke? Because people will watch this video and go, oh, woke, that has no definition whatsoever. It's just a made-up... Everything's a made-up term, like, frankly. Unless you believe in, the God, then you can say the Old Testament in Hebrew was made up by God. So that's pre-existing. But you got to believe in that stuff. But anyway, it's a made-up term. But for me, I define woke as the uncomfortable platforming of ideology in an existing successful franchise with a vibrant fan base, right? So normally the ideology is a mixture of things that everybody agrees with, like gay people are human beings, and black people are human beings, and everybody deserves respect and the same rights. Everybody agrees on that. And things that are a little bit more I don't want to say the word controversial, but not so universally accepted, that women can have penises, men can have babies, that sort of thing, right? And if you say, well, I'm not sure about the women having penises thing, they say, oh, you hate black people, right? That's essentially what the point of this is. The point of putting this ideology into existing fan bases and franchises is to they think it's so to re-educate people into accepting that ideology as their own, and it's been somewhat successful and somewhat unsuccessful. But it's been unsuccessful in that whenever they do it very badly, and it normally financially, very, very, very damages very much damages the franchise that they put this ideological messaging on, right? So I have a theory: the first people to smell the coffee were the James Bond people. Were the Barbara Broccoli and I can't remember his name, but they've been involved with James Bond for decades, absolutely decades, and it's a family thing. And I am convinced beyond convinced, they reshot the hell out of Die Another Day, right? No Time to Die. They reshot the hell out of No Time to Die, right? They reshot it and changed it radically. I think it was going to much more focus on Lashana Lynch's new 007, and I think it was going to end in a new gun barrel sequence with Lashana Lynch, right? I think they had that edit locked down, and then disaster upon disaster upon disaster happened at the box office. Overnight, Terminator, Charlie's Angels, everything started to get decimated, and they here's a bit of COVID. Maybe we can take a year or so to recut and reshoot this bugger so we don't destroy this franchise. And that's what they did, right? That's what they did. I'm very, very glad they haven't cast a new James Bond yet, and frankly, I would like them just to hold out another year or so till the age of this woke platforming is over, right? And I think the tide's turning right now, right? Holistically, I see it on many fronts, in politics, in entertainment, on social media. I think the tides they are turning, the sands they are shifting, and I really think a year from now, it's just going to be an embarrassing, an embarrassing time that we will all look back on. Don't cast anybody until then, because the trouble is we're still sticking with the choices that were made 3 or 4 years ago across all our franchises. So please don't do that. So anyway, I saw this article when I originally thought it was about the original plans for No Time to Die. When Danny Boyle was directing, I was like, oh, I'm very much into reading about that, hearing about that. So when I read it on my live stream last night. I'm recording this on November the 3rd, Thursday, November the 3rd. When I read it, I saw it was about Skyfall, right? I'm like, oh, that's even more interesting, right? And it turned out they had a really awful idea. A really awful idea that I was not in favour of. So there you go. We dodged a bullet there, so be grateful for that. Fine, before we get into this, it's not a long article. Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks for signing up my Substack, my email newsletter, where you can find all my content. I also have a paid Substack where you get chapters of my book as I'm writing it, the Eki Thump, the Guide to the Jodie Whittaker Years of Doctor Who, speaking about uncomfortable platforming of ideology on a successful franchise with a fan base. You get chapters of that as I'm writing it. Thank you very much for signing up. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for all of you doing those things. Let me hand over to me from my live stream last night. Skyfall is arguably the most popular James Bond movie of all time. Yes, it is. It's absolutely the most popular. It's I think depending on how you count Thunderbolt's box office. I mean, it's not just that. I think the only one that was like culturally close to it was The Spy Who Loved Me. But if the original plan for a Sean Connery cameo was achieved, things might have played out differently. How? Okay. Albert Finney's character was supposed to be Sean Connery, but he wouldn't do it. Right? It was just supposed to be a wink, a nod. That's it. That's it. Okay, calm down. Well, everybody has their favorite James Bond movie. You'll be all of them. You'll be hard-forced to find somebody who doesn't love Sam Mendes' Skyfall. It is very good. A decade later, the credits roll on Craig's third outing of the martini-swilling spy. It's time to look back on the movie that could have been, because the rumors are true. Skyfall was once planned to have a Sean Connery out of retirement, yet 10 years later, the twist now look like it might have turned the franchise forever in retrospect. Why? All right. In Skyfall, things culminated with the bloody showdown between 007 and the villainous Javier Bardem. Brilliant ending. Oh man, that was a brilliant movie. All the way through. I really got to rewatch Skyfall, right? Because it it's terrible in that it started a tank that destroyed drama, destroyed entertainment, which is called subverting your expectations. Right? It subverted expectations, but did so with a deep understanding of what its identity was. I think Sherlock did that once or twice as well. Yeah. Skyfall once planned Sean Connery out of time. Okay, fine. What happens? Blah 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 blah. Is at the titular Skyfall estate, Bond's surprise childhood home. Okay, I thought it was a very clever idea putting it in. Also along for the ride were Judi Dench. She was like the Bond girl of the movie, right? She actually fulfilled the same role as a Bond girl does in most Bond movies. Also played his mother as well. It was a mother substitute. And the estate's Jolly Gaines Kincaid, later being titled James Bond's childhood. Although Kincaid was played by legendary Albert Finney, the original plan was to cast Connery role, very obviously, which would have been a multiversal mind melt, considering he's arguably the most famous actor to play Bond. But more than that, there are reports that things were going to get even stranger. Fine, I knew all the up to date, but how's it going to get weirder? The character Kincaid was a brand new creation for Skyfall. And despite knowing James Bond since he was a boy, Kincaid never appeared in any other. It's fine, or in anything source material short. It's fine. However, Kincaid apparently wasn't going to be Kincaid at all in an early draft. Okay, get to the point. He was intended to be James Bond's be a retired James Bond living at an estate intended for former 00 agents. Oh, that was shit. Oh, that would have been shit. Oh, dodged a bullet. A retired James Bond. Fuck off. Oh, that would have been shit. Oh, thank God they changed that. Ironically, Connery retired from acting following the disappointing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in 2004. And because of that, he refused to return for the Crystal Star in 2008. Smart move. And Skyfall producers apparently didn't want to be turned down, so they never went to approach Connery for the idea. Good for you, Sean. Oh.
So Mendes says in an interview with the Huffington Post, there was a definite discussion about Connery playing Kincaid way early on. I think it was problematic because to me it becomes too. It would have been about would take you out of the movie. That's true, but he was obviously supposed to be Connery. Connery is Bond. He's not going to come back from as another character. Well, he is now. He's very old, right? It's like he's been there. So it was a very brief flirtation with that, but it was never going to happen because it would distract. It distracted that it was so clearly supposed to be Sean Connery. Director hasn't even confirmed or denied the whispers. Instead of being Kincaid, Connery was supposed to reprise his roles as James Bond on the Skyfall estate, the home of retired Bonds. What? He didn't talk about that? So why are you whittering on about it, you bloody idiot? No Time to Die, Loretta Lashana Lynch, blah, 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 blah. Because Lashana was a female 007, mainly because people can't seem to understand the designation is just a code name that can be passed down. Yeah, I was fine with that. And if Connery was brought back as an older Bond, and the Skyfall casting also would have confirmed the fan theory that's been around for years, namely that James Bond is just a name. I'm so glad they didn't do that, right? I'm so glad they didn't do that. Even though most Bond movies play it loosely with continuity, there's some evidence that Connery's Bond is the same as Lazenby. Yeah, who cares? That's why Bond is awesome, right? Because it doesn't fucking matter. Right? It doesn't matter. It's just Eva Green. Okay, are we doing the best of the Bond girls? Eva Green and Barbara Bach. Okay, doing done. Eva Green, Barbara Bach. Yeah, I'm right. I mean, Diana Rigg. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's a few to choose from, right? Get the set. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.